Now, your YOWADI program is an idea of freshness. It is actually that which caters for every person of whatever age group. It's not necessarily for those that are teenagers or immature in life, but it's every human being who needs to experience freshness through interaction. And so we are talking about renewing the mind, changing our attitude to life, about others and about ourselves. And this is where discovering of your own identity is an important aspect to consider. In other words, it is only when you realize who you really are that you can actually begin to do the work that you are required to do and play your particular role in society. Now, discovery of one's self-identity is an important aspect leading to behavioral change. And this is why in our research concerning effective holistic care, which is under pharmacology as a new idea based on pharmacology principle, we are saying, let there be inner healing, renewal of the mind, and discovery of self-identity. This leads to positive transformation and behavioral change in society. In other words, society are the people themselves. At personal level, we are saying let there be inner healing, renewal of the mind, and discovery of self-identity. In other words, once each one of us discovers who we really are at personal level, then there'll be no need to fight, there'll be no need to compete, there'll be no need to plunder and devour each other, because each one will know which office they belong to, each one will know which profession they belong to, and therefore this will promote professionalism. In other words, you will relate according to your office, and you will know when to do what you ought to do, you know when to act, you know when to work, and what kind of work you are required to do. Now, all the wars and confusion or conflicts that we're seeing around in the world are really based on the aspect of self-identity. In other words, there are conflicts because of each one of us wanting to be where we don't really belong. Each one of us wanting to be heard, each one of us wanting to express our views, each one of us thinking that our views are better than the other person. But if there was discovery of each one's identity, you would find there would be no need to compete, because each one would operate in their office, each one would play the role that they're required to play, and they will only play that role when called upon to do so. That's what professionalism is all about. In professionalism, you only operate where you are called to operate, to carry out the activity that you are called to carry out, when you are called to carry out. There's no need of forcing yourself into an organization or a position that you are not called to carry out or required to work with. And so that's why when a professional applies for a job, for example, all they do is wait for a reply from the person who is supposed to employ them. There's no need of going there to fight, struggle, and argue with the employer. That's what professionalism is all about. It is based on one's self-identity. If I'm a medical doctor, I know my area of operation. If I'm an accountant, I know my area of operation. If I'm an economist, I know my area of operation. If I'm an engineer, I know my area of operation. There's no need of struggling with somebody else in their office. And so once we develop self-identity, in other words, each one of us know who we really are as yourself by first of all finding out your talent, your skills and abilities. Then make use, proper use of those talents and abilities according to your skill, according to your ability. In other words, produce something innovative of your authentic nature. In other words, let it be your own idea. Let it not be something that you've copied from somebody else, but let it be something that you yourself have come up with and have designed and have decided to put up as a representation of who you are. And this is the importance of discovering one's self-identity. We'll move on and talk about this more. Thank you.